Pacers 121 to 91 points in the fifth game of that series. That's the game 5. New York Knicks is now leading that series 3-2 between the two sides. But looking at Denver Nuggets, Minnesota Timberwolves was Denver Nuggets beating Minnesota Timberwolves 112 to 97 points in game 5. So going to game 6, but Denver Nuggets is now leading the series 3-2. That is what it looks like in the NBA playoff series. Remember tomorrow 12 a.m. Boston Celtics will take on the Cavs. Remember, Boston Celtics is leading the series against the Cavs 3-1. And Oklahoma City Thunders against the Dallas Mavericks. Remember, the game ended 2-2. Oklahoma City Thunders, Dallas Mavericks on a 2-2 in the game 4. Now going straight to the game 5. Let's see what happens. Remember, whoever wins, we still have to go to game 6 of this one to confirm the final winner. Alright, now away from basketball, let us talk tennis, where defending champion Daniil Medvedev became the latest top player to crash out of the Italian Open as a loss to American Tommy Paul on Tuesday 6-1. He lost to 1-6, 4-6. And for top-ranked Iga Swiatek reached the Italian Open semi-finals when she swept aside former finalist Madison Keys 6-1, 6-3. The two-time champion will next face a third seed Coco Gauff after the American defeated Quinn Zhang 7-4, 6-1. A quick look at games going down today. Right then, the Italian Open for fixtures from the ATP category 1000. Alejandro Tabilo will take on Zhang. Stella Freeze will be up against Alexander Zverev. Tabilo's game is going down 2 p.m. and 7:30 is the clash between Zverev and Taylor Freeze. For the WTA category, Jelena Ostapenko will take on Arina Sabalenka by 12 o'clock this afternoon. And Victoria Azarenka taking on Daniel Collins by 6 p.m. Now we have Serena Williams in the news, not for bad stories, but it is more of what she will be doing at the ESP Wise Awards. Now, the retired 23-time tournament winner will be the fourth woman to hail the show, honoring the past year's achievements, athletes, and moments. So, the ESP Wise will air July 11th from Dolby Theatre in Hollywood. Megan Rapinoe, Sue Bird, and Russell Wilson co-hosted the 2020 show, which was virtual because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Danica Patrick was the first woman to host solo in 2018, shortly after she retired from auto racing. Now, Williams won, remember, 12 ESP Wise during her tennis career. Now let's go to talk boxing. Remember yesterday we were talking about Tyson Fury's father, John Fury, who had a little misunderstanding, and it's almost ended in scuffle between himself and the bouncers of Alexander Usyk. Now Alexander Usyk revealed he defused what could have been an ugly brawl ahead of Saturday's undisputed title fight with Tyson Fury. John Fury, father of Tyson Fury, the WBC heavyweight champion, was at the center of a fracas with members of Usyk's team. You can see the picture of what happened to the head of Tyson Fury's dad. Now, Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, according to updates and reports from most especially English journalists, say they've been encouraged to speak out about the urgent need for human rights reform in Saudi Arabia. The rival champions are fighting in Riyadh on Saturday in the first undisputed heavyweight contest for nearly 25 years. Saudi Arabia has paid huge sums to host the bout, which is the latest in a string of boxing events in the kingdom. But the country continues to face sports washing and human rights violation claims. And Amnesty International has said Fury and Usyk should acknowledge the way that this fight fits into a pattern of Saudi sports washing. Let's see if this guys can put this in place. Remember, for Alexander Usyk, his country is also facing crisis with Russia based on the invasion. Now let's go straight as a countdown to Olympics. Let's see what athletes are doing. All right, welcome back. Now let's start with Nigeria's tennis team. Well, give it up for Quadri Aruna, who has now reached the apex of African table tennis yet again, winning the ITTF African Cup in Kigali, Rwanda. The Nigerian star thumped Egypt's Mohamed El Bay Ali and an emphatic 4 live. That is 4-0, 11-5, 11-6, 12-10, and 11-3, claiming the men's singles title. So that is the man who will always show up for Nigeria. But sometimes, going to the Olympics, I don't know why the story always change getting to Olympics. Now, moving away from tennis, let's talk more. Going to the US, the US Center for Safe Sport has permanently banned Brenda Carey, a prominent Australian figure skater, for sexual misconduct involving a minor. According to a confidential summary of Safe Sport investigation that was obtained by journalists, Carey provided alcohol to and engaged in sexual intercourse with a then 16 or 17-year-old figure skater while he was 21 or 22 years old, on multiple occasions in 2016 and 2017. Now, Safe Sports also investigated claims that Carey forced a second skater into non-consensual sex at a party in 2016, but the report did not find sufficient evidence to prove that. What will this mean? Gracie Gold, a two-time national champion and Olympic bronze medalist, she is the second skater mentioned in the report. Safe Sports found that Carey had kissed Gold over her objection during a separate incident in 2017. The sanctions, which are not yet final, are subject to appeal. According to Safe Sports website, would bar Carey from participating in any event or at any arenas under the control of the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee. So, you have, when you're training an opposite sex, you just have to focus on the job. Now, Canada squandered a 5-goal lead in the third period before Toronto Maple Leafs star John Tavares scored 15 seconds into overtime to give the defending champion a 7-6 win over Austria at the Ice Hockey World Championships on Tuesday. The Canadians led 6-1, but Austria produced an unprecedented 5-goal final period to force overtime in a game in Prague. Peter Schneider led Australia's surge in the third with 2 goals and an assist. Okay, so we'll be seeing more of these countries at the Olympics. Remember, we've got several games that will be going down. We're going to break, and when we come back, we talk more sports, where we talk football from the local to the foreign scene. We look at the under-17 teams, the male and female. Talk about Super Eagles of Nigeria, the headache Finidi George will be facing, most especially with players injured going into the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. More to come. Do not change the dial. These Solutions 93.9 FM.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello, do I know you?
It's us, mommy.
But these dirty, sweaty uniforms and socks were clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though. School is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further. Milo.
Èèyàn yìí ló jẹ́ máa lọ fọ́ àwa fún ẹ. Ibikíbi tó àṣà mọ́ pa wá pẹ̀lú ẹ. Ìwọ ló ló ní pàdé FCMB wà fún ẹ. Ìwọ ló ló ní ọ̀la ti dájú. Jọ̀wọ́ má ṣọ̀lẹ pẹ̀lú FCMB. Ìwọ ló ló ní ọ̀la ti dájú. Jọ̀wọ́ má ṣọ̀lẹ. Dúró tán kò jẹ́ bàbá ọ̀tá tán síbẹ̀ ó pàdé o. Jọ̀wọ́ má ṣọ̀lẹ. Dúró tán ti dájú. Pẹ̀lú FCMB.
FCMB, èmi àti pánkì mi. So we're in this filling station over 18 hours now. No way going back, no way going front.
When it comes to solar power solutions, Novel Solar is a trusted brand. Solar engines from Novel Solar continues to put smiles on the face of their customers. With solar power, you have no reason to worry about fuel price or subsidy removal. You will no longer have to suffer noise from generators. We have different solar products and all you will need for solar installations, including solar panels, inverters, batteries, solar kit, solar generators, solar borehole system, solar street light, solar fans, and solar lighting bulbs. My people, it's time to act fast and escape the high cost of petrol. We're located at Akinjide Plaza, opposite Adamasingba Stadium, Ekotedo, Ibadan. Embrace solar power and stop complaining about inadequate power supply. Call 0811-799-8800, 0811-799-8800. With high cost of fuel, Nova Solar is the way to go.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Welcome back, still the Remedy Radio Dial Solutions 93.9 FM and still Kickoff Sports Show. My name is Oladapo Kunubi, and well, let's go straight to the second half of the show where we talk football. We've been able to look at boxing, look at tennis, look at NBA, countdown to Olympics. Now, talking about Nigeria's under-17 national team, that's the Golden Eaglets. According to a report, the Confederation of African Football (CAF) has declared that all 20 players presented by Nigeria for the Waffle B under-17 championship starting in Accra, Ghana today have passed the examination in flying colors. We wish them all the best. Now, talking about the coach of the side, Coach Manu Gadiba, he was happy and he's saying that the boys now can concentrate and focus on the tournament. The Eaglets begin the defense of their title when they confront their counterparts from Burkina Faso at the University Stadium on Thursday, 16th May, with kickoff set for 3 p.m. Ghana time, which is 4 p.m. Nigerian time, before matches against Nigeria Republic on Sunday and Togo on Wednesday, 22nd May, 4 p.m. Ghana and 5 p.m. Nigerian time. The match against Nigeria Republic will also hold at the University Stadium, while the clash with Togo will take place at the Accra Sports Stadium. For the under-17 ladies, the Flamingos are back in the country following their FIFA under-17 Women's World Cup qualifying match against Burkina Faso's under-17 girls in Bamako, Mali over the weekend, which ended 1-1. Now, head coach of the side, Banko Oluwokere, said on arrival in Abuja that the support of Nigerians based in Bamako helped put the Flamingos at the spirits during the first leg. But can these ladies now get the backings at the MK Abiola National Stadium on Saturday to support the girls? Chidi Harmony scored for Nigeria in the 55th minute, but poor communication in the defense led Burkina Faso equalizing with 6 minutes left through Renata Albar. Victory over Burkina Faso will send the Flamingos up for the final qualifying fixture against the winner of the Senegal-Liberia fixture. And the Senegalese led 3-1 going into the second leg in Monrovia, Liberia this weekend. It looks like the pendulum is swinging to the Senegalese ladies, but we won't mind. Let's see what happens. But if you have a good team, the good team or the better side will surely win. Now let's talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Remember, Super Eagles of Nigeria will facing Bafana of South Africa for the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying match day 3. And the Super Eagles are yet to record a win with the qualifiers. In the qualifiers, with 2 draws against Lesotho and Zimbabwe. However, for Coach Finidi George, who got the job on Monday, he got the job a few days ago. He was unveiled on Monday. He will be facing headache at the moment. Why? The likes of Napoli forward Victor Osimhen, who is injured. Samuel Chukwueze is also injured, who plays for AC Milan. Moses Simon out of the season. Zaidu Sanusi, Tyrone Boy, all ruled out of the qualifiers. But for vice captain William Troost-Ekong, remember, finished as the best player at the tournament at the Africa Cup of Nations. Also, a scoring defender at the Africa Cup of Nations is currently recuperating. He just returned from training after undergoing a surgery. But It is more of having your best leg going into that game. Yes, we have Victor Boniface doing well with Bayer Leverkusen. We've got Ademola Lookman. We're doing well with Atalanta. Nathan Teller. We've got more players who can help Fididi George get things right. We've had just 2 points at the qualifiers. Beating South Africa will be very nice. That means we'll have 5 points. But you don't count your chicks before they hatch. Away from Nigeria, let us talk Premier League this morning. Following the victory over Tottenham Hotspur, Pep Guardiola has told Manchester City players to relax in Sunday's Premier League finale against West Ham, and they will lift their 4th consecutive title. Remember, Manchester City won 2-0 with a brace from Haaland.
Now I'm tired, relax, and tomorrow start to think about West Ham. And of course, it's a pleasure to give us the chance to depend on us for the last game against this contender like Arsenal. So we have experience for a short time against Aston Villa what happened. 70 plus minutes, 0-2 down. The most famous goal in our club from Sergio Aguero scored 93 20 minutes of QPR. We were 1-2 down 89 minutes more or less. So now it's Kudus, Bowen, Antonio, we're pros, so it's like set pieces, channels, and think about that, focus perfectly, and think about it like we live against Aston Villa. The game will be completely similar like today. So in terms of emotion and everything. So, but we could not expect less. So the last game was in 6th of December. So we are here and we have to win one more game to retain the title.
Well, Pep Guardiola, who knows how to win titles in Germany, Spain, now understands how to win the title in England. Arsenal fans, how you doing this morning? How are you guys? I hope you are fine this morning. How are you, my friend? All right, Buffalo. Ange Postecoglou, who's the manager of Tottenham Hotspur, felt bad, felt disappointed. He thought he could have a team that could, make that game difficult for Manchester City yesterday, but it was just a stroll in the park.
Disappointing to lose. I thought it was a tight game. Big moments for both teams that they capitalised on that we didn't. So, that sort of garnered the outcome that happened, and so disappointing to lose. No, I think the last 48 hours has revealed to me the foundations are fairly fragile, mate. So that's what I feel.
Aye, so for Postecoglou, it is what it is, and with that defeat, there were a lot of things attached, and which we saw after Manchester City won that game against Tottenham Hotspur. It wasn't only for Manchester City returning to the summit of the Premier League log, but Aston Villa qualifying to play in the UEFA Champions League. Tottenham dropping to the 5th spot, even if they win the last game of the season, which is against Sheffield United. They will still have 66 points, and they will be playing in Europa. But depending also, looking at the game also coming for Newcastle United, there is still problem for Newcastle United. Chelsea is eyeing a place in Europe as well. Okay, but now let's talk about games going down today in the English Premier League with the fixtures. 2 matches in England. Brighton facing Chelsea. Manchester United against Newcastle United. Well, Mauricio Pochettino looks like a man who wants to go to Europe. They've had bad games this season, but they're getting better, and things may work their way to play in Europe next season.
Yes, I think it's important to keep strong and to keep the mentality and of course really believe that we can get, and then we can get. It's true that it's going to be 2 really tough games, because tomorrow against Brighton is a really very good team and it's going to be really tough to play. And then Bournemouth at home, but always the most important thing is to believe, and I think the team is doing well. I think
so if you believe, you can achieve, right? Manchester United will be up against Newcastle United, but Ten Hag, despite the poor results coming the Red Devils' ways, he believes and expects Manchester United fans to come out tonight, support the team at the leaking Old Trafford.
Yeah, it's clear. it's a very important game. Look at the ranking. So yeah, it's very important to get the win. Yeah, we have to put everything in it to get the win, and we have to fight hard for it. That's what they did in the last games, and I think in Palace, they were so magnificent. They were brilliant, and so you say the mood is low. Maybe the expectations are lower, but the mood.
Okay, so the expectations from the fans. Well, Manchester United fans, I will be on the X looking at your comments tonight. Well, remember the Nigeria Premier Football League 1 game is going down today. Reverse fixture, that is Rivers United against IBR Warriors. In Spain, games are going down as well. Rayo Vallecano against Granada. Sevilla taking on Cadiz. Athletic Bilbao against Celta Vigo. Getafe against Atletico Madrid. Remember, one man who once played for Real Madrid said goodbyes to Manchester United yesterday in a video saying thank you. That is Rafael Varane. Will he be returning to Spain? We don't know, but it did not announce where he's moving to. And I'll be wrapping up the show with a short statement of Rafael Varane. I'll be back tomorrow morning on the Kickoff Sports Show 9 o'clock. But remember, moving to the other side where we look at headlines on the pages of Nigerian newspapers. Damola Lafenwa and Favor Lawrence will be coming from that side. My name is Oladapo Okunubi. Good morning!
To you guys, supporter of Manchester United, it's been an amazing few years to play for this special club and wear that shirt. First time I went to Old Trafford as Man United player was insane. The atmosphere was amazing. I fell in love with the club, with the fans. I have to play for Man United to understand what that represents.
I know sometimes it be like say nobody sent you. That's when I did for you, my friend.
No vex for me. Say I never call you since, but I hope that you are well. I hope your market sell. Every day I dey pray for you. Make you Baba, God bless you. I never forget you. I gon' forget you. See my shoulder, make you rest up on me. You know I got you. Now me be your friend indeed. The money don't show. Some for you, you know go so far. Cause anything I get now for me and you. Yeah. How are you, my friend? How do you do, my friend? I know sometimes it feel like say nobody sent you. That's when I did for you, my friend. Oh, Remy, always stay in my mind. I deem me gone. I cherish you with my life. Don't worry yourself, oh. Everything go day alright. And if anybody try you, know it's gonna be on sight. See my shoulder, make you rest up on me. You know I got you. And me be your friend indeed. I'm money don't show now. I don't keep some for you. No go so far, cause anything I get now for me and you, yeah. How are you, my friend? I see you, my brother. How do you do, my friend? I see you, my sister. I know sometimes you feel like say nobody sent you. That's when I did for you, my friend. So long. How are you, my friend? How do you do, my
I think that question is for Adedamola Lafenwa this morning.
Well, I refused to be bashed this morning. I refused to be put on the hot spot this morning. I know Dapo deliberately left this tune but is it a crime to be a Ghana's
It's not a crime.
To be a fan of Arsenal.
The thing is that when you have a Haaland in your squad, it's like a force deliberately sent to the Arsenal squad to make you, I don't know.
Is favor Oloruntola a force sent to me this morning?
I am a force sent to you to check up on you, to know how you're doing.
Okay, I'm doing fine.
You're doing fine.
I'm
okay,
doing fine.
You're fine. You're good.
I'm good.
You have one more game to go.
Yes.
And
in God we trust.
Indeed, in God we trust. And we are so grateful to God this morning for the breath of life. Good morning. This is AM Update on Solutions 93.9 FM. We want to say thank you for joining us. And on this corner, we go through the headlines on the newspapers. And then we have our analyst who will join us and we'll talk extensively on each story. My name is Favor Oloruntola.
And my name is Adedamola Lafenwa. Gunners for life. Okay, today being Wednesday, the 15th day in the month of May 2024, I've got two newspapers with me. I've got the Nigerian Tribune and the Nation newspaper. Looking at the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning, Rivers State is in the news again. I inherited huge debt from Wike Fubara. And that story can be found on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Bandits sack 50 villages in Zamfara. Page 26. UK keenly watching Nigeria's police economic reforms, British envoy. And moving to the biggest story on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning, FGI's pension fund, others for infrastructure development, explains why it suspended cybersecurity levy. Page 6. Tinubu Shetima to now pay toll at airports. Page 2. Our 17-year-old boy threatened bank with fake explosive device to demand 100 million naira. That story can be found on page 27. 5.9 million Nigerian children face severe food nutrition crisis. UN. Page 30. Nigeria ranks lowest in education budget in West Africa. ASU threatens nationwide strike. That story is on page 4. Obasanjo backs alternative system of government in Nigeria, says Western liberal democracy has failed to deliver. Reps unveil plans to hold national conference in July. I must tell you, the front page of Nigerian Tribune is loaded this morning. Some manufacturers spend more on security than taxes. DG, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. And the last one I'll be taking is coming from Ondo. Ondo Giba, court orders APC, Ayedatiwa, INEC to file defense in suit seeking to sack governor as APC candidate. And the rider under that says APC asks CJ to transfer case from Abuja to Akure. These and many more stories will be found on the pages of the Nigerian Tribune this Wednesday morning.
All right, on the Punch newspaper, we have it with this kicker. EFCC raids speculators as Naira drops to 1,500 Naira per dollar. We have this underneath. We have illegal BDC operators, speculators raided in Lagos, Abuja, PH, Kano State. Now to the envelope headline on the Punch newspaper this morning. Police blitz. Tinubu unveils 21 major initiatives after marathon FEC meeting. 2 trillion Mudgate initiative. President, all Nigerians to pay airport toll. Ban on sand dredging 10 kilometers from bridges. We have new Lagos airport recovery system. There's also this one, $7 trillion US tech hub for Nigerians. 51 billion naira Abuja transport terminal hubs. Revenue platforms for lottery business. 546 billion naira roads in states. Well, there is this one on the minimum wage. Labour insists on May 31 deadline. Page 7. JAMB releases more UTME results. You can find the story on page 25 of the Punch newspaper. Marketers orders to open pumps for CNG vehicles. Please say bankers stole customers 650 million naira. Finally, on the Punch newspaper, Fubara tackles Wike over Rivers' heavy debt. You can find the story and more on the pages of the Punch newspaper.
Okay, moving to the Nation newspaper this morning. JAMB releases another 36,540 UTME results. Okay, Sirika, brother to be arraigned. That story is found on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. Speaker lashes minister for opposing plan to marry off 100 girls. That story is found on page 6. Still taking you through the Nation newspaper. Nigeria gains additional 16,300 square kilometers maritime territory. Page 7. APC asks court to move Jimo's case against Ayedatiwa to Akure. Page 3. CNG sale points to be made compulsory at petrol stations. Still looking at the front page of the Nation newspaper, ASU threatens showdown over absence of governing councils. Universities running without boards for 11 months. Okay, let me take more stories. Minister, electricity tariff hike reversal will derail reform plan. Federal government seeks Labour's understanding. 85% of consumers still enjoy subsidy. And the last one I would like to take on the front page of the Nation newspaper, saying bank manager arrested for allegedly defrauding customers of 650 million naira. That story is found on page 5 of the Nation newspaper.
All right, moving forward to the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And the first story here says minimum wage. FG calls a committee meeting. Labour insists on May 31 deadline. Vows to down tools if FG states OPS to present proposals. Labour maintains call for living wage, says government racing against time. Tinubu Shatima now to pay toll gate fees at airport. FG. Some foreign missions charge in dollars. Determine own FX rates. EFCC. Manufacturers spend more on security than taxes. That's from MAN, and we have FG directs marketers to open CNG points at petrol stations. Edo Guba, no collection of PVCs by proxy. INEC tells Edo Ondo electorate. Obaseki APC Bika over propaganda against Oba's palace. Fubar laments debt owed contractors by Wike's administration. ASU threatens nationwide strike over absence of varsity governing council. Others. Page 32. When I saw this story this morning, my first thought was, wow, another strike? How many months is this going to take again? Although this is not about funds or money, this is about, the governing councils in the universities. And I thought about the undergraduates who have spent extra years in the university at this point.
Not as a result of failing courses, but as a result of
the system
incessant ASU strike.
Okay. We have to discuss this with our analysts this morning. You just have to stay tuned to Solutions 93.9 FM. Remember, you can join us live on Facebook at Solutions 939 FM. Solutions 939 FM on Facebook. Join us there. Drop your comments. We'd love to have them.
Alright, still AM update on Solutions 93.9 FM, and our first shot on the program will be at Rivers State. I mean, Rivers State has always been in the news in recent times. It seems Fubara keeps taking some decisions to counter all the efforts of Nyesom Wike, that is the Minister of the FCT. And just yesterday, a new Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice was sworn in Rivers State. And Fubara made a statement. I made some statement actually yesterday. You know, it was in the news when Nyesom Wike, the former governor of Rivers State, was saying that he made a mistake by choosing Fubara as his successor. But in this address, Fubara made some statement and also addressed the issue of Wike, saying that he made a mistake to have made him the governor. Let's take a listen at this, and after this, we'll link up with our guest analyst on the program this morning.
I feel very happy that this is happening today to mark the beginning of a new era. When I said that I had a reason for being patient, it was because I know that we are all from one family. And if we have a disagreement, no matter how bad it is, it should be resolved. But it has become very clear that this disagreement, there is no headway to it. And for a lot of reasons, there are very, very visible evidence that there is sabotage, deliberate attempt to sabotage this administration. For that reason, we have to move forward. Maybe where they are telling them nothing will happen, nothing will happen. It's happening here live. We have our own legislatures that are performing their duty according to the Constitution. So that record is strengthened. There is no two ways about it. Coming to our brand new commissioner, you have already been sworn in, so can't call it designate again. Everybody knows your area of specialization. I'm happy that you're already a son before coming in. It means that you must have been a thorough man. It's not the one that while you're here, they now pay money to give you son. When you become the son, the only thing you do is to sabotage government. Instead of you to close your mouth, you go publicly to claim that you're a learned person. To go publicly to tell people that you're the chief law officer. Chief law officer, you were here, you went to stand before a magistrate court. At that time, you didn't remember that you were chief law officer, going against the ethics of your job. You will get your reward, not in this world, this world. Tagogo Eboroma, you're going to be the brand new Attorney General of our DRC. Why are we bringing you at this very critical time? We have a lot of issues around us. We believe that you're not going to be the one that when they send a service to you, you go and file Nolly. Please defend us. We know that you're going to defend us because your record is clean. You're a gentleman, peaceful. You're not a noisemaker. People like that are endowed and they have a fear of God. Say this, you have a big tax. As it is today, in the local parliament, they said the jungle has matured. We will be setting a panel of inquiry to investigate the affair of governance. For you to be honorable, there are a lot of qualities that people will see. Being honorable is not lying. Being honorable is not, there is not as a matter of fact, for one to be called honorable, you need to live a honorable life. But I wish them well. I wish them well because even if it's a mistake, by the special grace of God, I'm here today.
Yes. Not a mistake.
God doesn't make mistake.
At all. Not a mistake.
And let me also appeal to them. Let them continue to make mistake. So that I'll continue to be where I am.
Yes.
Finish what I want to do for you people.
Yes.
Live with a good name.
Yes, sir.
And my children and my great-grandchildren will be proud of me. Let me on this note thank every one of you, but especially our new Attorney General. Please take full charge of that office. We have a lot of litigations there, both political and also economical. Economical because we have a lot of court cases on oil well and all those things. And there is one major issue we're having there. Since I came in, the number of garnishes, I feel is a deliberate stint. Please, see what you can do to help us in this particular area. Thank you, and may God bless every one of you.
All right, the River State Governor there, Governor Simi Fubara, spitting out funny words there, addressing so many issues concerning the crisis rocking River State. But we have Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokwe already joining us virtually this morning. A beautiful morning to you, sir.
A beautiful, wonderful morning to you, my dear comrade, brother and sister.
All right, nice to have you with us this morning.
All
right, I don't know if you listened to the statement from Fubara, but yesterday.
I did.
Okay,
yeah.
He
been on since yesterday.
Okay, yeah, he made there was a swearing in yesterday. A new Attorney General was sworn in River State, and he's now bent on probing the administration of Nyesom Wike. Now, is this not a kind of what do they call it now? Payback or witch hunting? Because now they are not in good terms. He has now decided to probe the government of the past administration led by Nyesom
Let's
Wike.
not forget, he said he didn't want to say anything because he was also part of the administration, the past administration.
So let's analyze the statement, General.
What Governor Simi Fubara just said, amongst the other things he has said when this crisis started, such as saying, don't forget I was your accountant general, and all of that. But this one shows clearly that Nyesom Wike made a wrong choice. Simi Fubara is clearly an amateur. An amateur flyweight. Not just flyweight, amateur flyweight that was lifted to the heavyweight category professional. Look, it is absolutely unnecessary. You want to probe? Why are you announcing? The guy is just around. Look, he does not fit that office of governor. Believe you me. He does not fit that office, that high public office of governor. He is an amateur.
Do we now say Wike was right when he said he made a mistake by choosing him?
I really want us to, dwell on that word mistake. We know that to actually have a governor in office, it is the mandate of the citizens to bring someone into government. Why use the word it was a mistake choosing you when it was the citizens that actually chose Fubara, voted him in?
It wasn't. If Fubara was not on the ticket, the citizen won't have him to choose. You see, when that is what happens when leaders consider personal and even primordial interest in choice of their successors. Look at Borno State. The governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Sulum, was chosen purely on merit. Look at Bola Ahmed Tinubu when he chose his BRF. BRF justified his Tinubu's choice. Babagana Sulum justified that. And you see, when you start, when there are motives are not in the interest and in tandem with.
Hello?
Hello, I think we lost Comrade Ayodija Chokpe there. We'll try to reconnect with Comrade Ayodija Chokpe. They're still on AM Updating Solutions 93.9 FM. We'll be right back. Let's not rejoin.
Impeachment, she said, it's simply because they may not be sure of the position of the chief judge, who will empanel the committee that will investigate the impeachment allegations against him. There are already impeachment allegations against him, constitutional breaches that we discussed, I think, on Monday. So, if not for that, it doesn't take more than a week to get a governor impeached. But be that as it may, it is sad that Fubara is towing this line. You see, when somebody brings you into office, it's not as if you're going to be a fool all the way. But you see, you look at what Fashola did in Lagos. Fashola worked assiduously as Tinubu's successor. So much so that when the idea of dropping him for a second time was muted, Lagosian said, no, Fashola must continue. You remember?
Yes, I do.
I'm sure you remember that.
I remember.
I
remember very well.
Hello?
Hello? Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you. Can you hear us
Hello?
now? Yes, hello?
Hello?
Oh, okay.
Okay, we've established connection with Comrade Ayodiji Ajishokwe. Can you hear us now?
Thank you, my comrade sister.
Okay,
So,
let's go ahead.
the only thing delaying the impeachment of Fubara is certainly because the majority in the House are not sure of the position or of the likely position of the chief judge, who is going to be solely responsible for the choice of those who will be in the panel to investigate the impeachment allegations. There are clear constitutional breaches on the part of Fubara because what he's doing with local government funds and all of that, those are constitutional infractions. One is enough to impeach him. And all these grandstanding, Fubara is an amateur in governance and in politics and even in his general conduct. He is an amateur. Look, have you forgotten that when EFCC was looking for Fubara as Accountant General, for 2 years, it was Wike that kept him inside the government house until he was elected and sworn in and became untouchable by the constitutional cover. Has he forgotten that? If Wike is indicted, Fubara will be indicted.
That's my question now, because he was the chief accountant general of that same administration. And when we talk about money being spent, at least there's no money that will be spent without his approval.
Probably if things is a threat that can
he will be culpable too.
It's well, maybe he thinks he has immunity. Immunity does not last forever. Immunity will end 4 years or maximum 8 years, and the law will be waiting for him. He's deceiving himself. I'm so disappointed in Fubara's conduct.
But
I had sentimental, sympathy for him, but this one has dispelled it all. The mere fact that he went to the state assembly and demolished it, and is even contemplating demolishing the state legislative quarters, is executive rascality and height of irresponsibility.
Okay, do we now call his actions as actions of a drowning man?
Well, why is he doing that if he's not drowning?
Well, he was pushed to the wall.
It's unfortunate that it is rivers that will suffer for all of
But
this.
comrade,
But he was pushed to the wall.
But comrade, if you were to advise Fubara today, what path would you have advised him to toe, as in to settle?
He has crossed the bridge of reconciliation. If I has crossed that bridge several times, not just once. He has crossed the bridge of reconciliation back and forth, 2-3 times. So the issue of reconciliation is out of the way. I do not know how he will get the ground forces that will stop his impeachment, or even making life unbearable for him. Local government chairman, they're against him. You don't forget that Wike was a local government chairman. He knows how these things work.
But talking about impeachment, that can only be done by the members of House of Assembly. Is it the same House of Assembly in crisis? The factionalized House of Assembly that will impeach
the
Fubara?
The part is that the clerk has spoken in favor of the 27. A high court in Paracourt spoke in favor of the 3 or 4. There are even 3 now. One has become chief of staff.
But looking at the 27 House of Assembly members, how legitimate is their seat now, knowing that they have defected from the party they came in on board with?
Yes. You see, they are not worried about the outcome of the court. What they are concerned with now is they will impeach. The man will stand impeached until the court, which will end up with the Supreme Court, says the impeachment was illegal.
But as they speak, their own fate is hanging in balance too.
Yes, their fate is hanging in balance.
If their fate is if their fate is hanging in balance,
the case will go, this fate hanging in balance will go all the way to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
You know how long that will take? The only person that was removed from the National Assembly or a parliament in Nigeria, he had completed his term before that case was determined. Go and check the record. He had completed his term. Yes, we have that as a reference now. But how rapidly? There are cases of, this is 2024. There are cases of year 2016 and 2018, even in the appeal court. 35,000 cases outstanding. That is the appeal court, not even the Supreme Court. That is why we need, people are talking about restructuring. They think the restructuring that we need is political and governance alone. The judiciary has to be reverted to the way it operated. You take a case of divorce, you take it to the Supreme Court. Divorce in 4-4.
Okay. Well, just before we leave this Fubara issue, let's look at this crisis critically. Do you see Fubara being impeached? Because Ayedatiwa almost suffered the same thing, but he was able to maneuver his way through. Do you see Fubara also maneuvering his way through this impeachment storm?
It is not impossible. but that space will be made ungovernable for him.
So
That is the problem.
So you should expect another 3 years of, turmoil.
Crisis.
Oh, he will be rolling from one to the other.
Wow.
You know now, politicians, they will instigate, engineer, arrange, organize, and make him to be distracted. You know, if he focuses on governance, people will say he has performed. But when he doesn't have time for governance, he's playing survivor. Anybody playing survivor cannot do anything.
He's playing survivor.
You are playing survivor.
He's trying to survive.
Just trying to stay afloat. If you are playing survivor, you won't do anything. All you will be doing is to stay alive. Is the person that is playing survivor going to be planning? He's not going to be planning anything. He will be planning survivor. That's just it.
Okay.
It's very sad. The man was tactless, totally tactless. He didn't have to do that. There were several ways of dealing with Godfathers. But the man lacks, sadly, the man lacks wisdom.
Okay.
He might be knowledgeable, but the difference between knowledge and wisdom is the application of what you know as knowledge. It is what makes it judicious application that makes it wisdom.
That's deep.
That's very deep. Let's move away from Fubara, Wike, and politics, but more on education this morning. On the newspaper this morning, ASU is threatening to go on strike based on, lack of governing councils and others. And on the Nigerian Tribune this morning, we have Nigeria ranks lowest in education budget in West Africa. Let us discuss this.
No, we didn't get to this location in our education by sudden flight. It has been a journey. Remember, the first brain drain was in 1984. That was when ASU was proscribed by Buhari. And then the second wave of brain drain started in 1990. And then it became a regular thing. This is the third one. And it is the youth, not just the youth, the youthful population, professionals that are leaving. Do you recall that when trouble broke out in Sudan, do you recall how many Nigerian students were in universities in Sudan? Were you not surprised? That what were Nigerians doing in Sudan?
Sudan, for them, Sudan of all places.
For university education. If you go to English-speaking, even Francophone-speaking West African countries, they have established English-speaking universities for Nigerians. And everybody rushing to England with their families in pursuit of, master's program funded by scholarship and all of that. That is symptomatic of what is wrong. What research is going on? What research? Do they get grants? Is there power to... Okay, you are doing research in the laboratory. There is no light. What research are you doing?
So pathetic.
You are doing...
I say so
What
pathetic.
research are you doing? Research that you are doing that to be under certain temperature, will be heated up. What research are you doing? Are you going to be using research that can go on for... I know somebody that has done a 15-year research on Orogbo bitter cola. 15 years research. You are not doing research. Will you put on generator for 24/7? Even if you get grant. So that is just it. We are just, and let me tell you this, the only education we are doing in Nigeria is cognitive. To recognize it. We are not teaching application. That is why I say I prefer polytechnic engineering graduates to Nigerian public school graduates in engineering. They don't see anything. They don't see the engine of an automobile. They just look at it in the books. What you look at in the books, there's no application. You are taught the theory. So we have come a long way. Because you see, ASU has not been strategic too. Look at how ASU ended up in the 8-month strike. The industrial court just aborted everything. They go back to us, and that was the end of it. And they even seized their salary. And they are demoralized and disillusioned.
People are no longer committed. People are no longer committed to teaching. Teaching is not a profession, it is a calling. If you are not called to teach, it is about imparting knowledge. There must be a burning desire. In countries, in Britain, teachers are held in high esteem. In Nigeria, teachers were held in high esteem. In most villages, teachers were next to traditional rulers. My father was given a chieftaincy title because he was a school principal, because he impacted. That was the only reason. The only reason why he was given a chieftaincy title. And in this country, there was a time before Obasanjo came that teachers were not being rented houses to, that they would default. You know, and you ask teachers too. If you take 1,000 teachers, you cannot see 10 of them applying themselves. I ask them, I say, are you happy doing what you are doing? No, they take the job because they just need to keep body and soul together. How is somebody that is not interested in what he's doing, how is going to impact knowledge? How is he going to impact? How is he going to go beyond? He will do the minimum, the barest minimum. Whereas you are supposed to go beyond the call of duty.
Definitely.
So I hope ASU will map out a strategy and get all stakeholders. We should go back to 2009 agreement. That was where all the trouble started. 2009 agreement. That is where all the trouble started. They have not implemented it. In fact, the Buhari administration said they are not bound by it. An agreement that was empirically researched and arrived at, that it was a needs assessment that was done by all the stakeholders, and they arrived at that agreement. And then one government says they are not bound by it. But government is a continuum. You acquire assets and liabilities, and you say you are not liable. Look, research and development. How much of it are we doing? Go and check out those the advanced countries and those who are advancing. They commit money to research and development. I'm familiar with Oyo State. I have been around our educational institutions. I tell people that, you see, education is in the secondary school. That is it. That is where the foundation is laid, in the primary school, but consolidated in the secondary school. Everything that you go and do in university, believe you me, God Almighty, it is additional. I knew, only God knows the number of books at what level I had read in secondary school. You know, so it is just additional. You will have been given a base, consolidated, and then you do additional and application. But what are we doing?
And we are beginning to see the ripple effect now. I mean, looking at the just concluded UTME results with the mass failure that was being recorded in the results.
Of course. Of course. When you sow, there will be harvest. In sowing and harvesting. I hope that ASU will lead and get stakeholders together to a roadmap, an educational roadmap, timeline, deliverables and timeline. In fact, backed up by law, so that people will be bound by it. It is not just a matter of welfare. No, it is beyond that. Whose welfare? What about the lecturers' welfare, the workers' welfare? What about the welfare of the children? When I was in university, you will fill a form in your faculty, year of entry and year of graduation. Yes. Start. There must be a summit on education to develop a roadmap out of this mess and into the future.
All right.
With all stakeholders, backed by law. not just an agreement, backed by a law, an enactment of parliament, so that government will know they are bound by it. I hope something will be done.
All right. I'd like to say a big thank you to you, Comrade Ayodeji Ajisokwe, for being a part of the program this morning. It's been a pleasure having you on the program this morning. Thank you very much.
My pleasure always. God bless you all. God bless our Union Comrade brother and sister.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Let's be dynamic with your morning update and make it better with Kickoff Sports Show, where we will be serving you all the latest from tennis, basketball, Formula One, football, exclusive interviews, and lots more.
Hamilton going for the move on Alonso at the 130. These two great side by side.
Martinelli! Oh yes! Gabriel Martinelli is back with a bang!
Headlines from Nigerian newspapers, behind the papers from the stands, analysis on burning, trending issues across Nigeria and beyond.
The problem is not politics or tribalism, but corruption.
The governors will say, give us our own slot. The chairman of local government will say, give us our own slot. Who does those slots go to?
You offend, they arrest you, they detain you, and they release you. That's all.
Hello, my name is Oladapo Okunubi.
My name is Victory Onyedikachi.
My name is Adedamola Lafenwa.
And my name is Favor Oloruntola.
Join us weekdays 9 a.m. on your Remedy Radio dial, Solutions 939 FM.
Here, we make it different from the norm.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello, do I know you?
It's us, mommy.
But these dirty, sweaty uniforms and socks were clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though. School is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo!
sọ fún wọn kó dá ẹ lójú èèyàn yìí ló jẹ́ má lọ fọ́ àwa fún ẹ ibikíbi tó àṣà mọ́ pa wá pẹ̀lú ẹ ìwọ ló ló ní pàdé FCMB wà fún ẹ. ìwọ ló ló ní ọ̀la ti dájú jọ̀wọ́ má ṣọ̀lẹ pẹ̀lú FCMB ìwọ ló ló ní ọ̀la ti dájú jọ̀wọ́ má ṣọ̀lẹ. Bàbá ọ̀tá tán síbẹ̀ ó pàdé o. Jọ̀wọ́ má ṣọ̀lẹ.
FCMB, èmi àti Punky mi.
Yo, what's up?
Do not touch that dial. You know the radio you tune to, it's your Remedy dial, 93.9 Solutions FM. Your number one Remedy dial. What's
All right, let's try and take a few comments on our social media handle. We have this one coming from Onyeka. I mean, I think he's talking about the drop in Naira. And he said, this government has not realized that you cannot defend the Naira the way it has been going about it until it understands that the fundamentals must be made right before all this chasing of BDCs here and there. The Naira will continue on its downward spiral. Blaming every other person except its policies is akin to a bad workman who always quarrels with his tools. Okay, some of us don't know if this government is aware of the magnitude of the damage it has done to the Naira and the economy in just about 1 year. From about 500 Naira to $1 when it came on board, it is now 1,540 Naira to $1. Okay, let me look at this again. I think I saw something on Fubara. Okay, this one said, good morning, I commend Fubara. And he said, power belongs to God, and I totally concur to that.
Okay, from Uche, he says, Nigerian leaders should learn your people are not in love with you. If you want to be remembered after your time, leave solid footprints. Wiki will soon be forgotten. Its time of relevance has come to an end. Okay, that's as far as I can go on that comment.
No, there are some comments you really don't want to read. Okay, let me take this one, and maybe that'll be the last one I'll be taking today. Fubara tackles Nyesom Wike over River State heavy debt. I don't understand how can Mr. Infrastructure have left debt for River State government. Well, that's Fubara saying that most of the projects Fubara, Nyesom Wike embarked upon while as a governor, he left them half paid.
And the contractors are coming to collect it in billions of naira. Well, Clever says this man will unite River State again, and that's what Wiki doesn't want. Okay.
Okay, I think it's a convenient point for us to call it a day today, because most of the comments I'm seeing here, I really can't read them out on air. Okay, I'd like to say a big thank you to you for being a part of the program today. We'll be back tomorrow by God's grace to give you another edition of this program, AM Update on Solutions 93.9 FM. Till then, my name remains Adi Damola Lafenwa. Wishing you a winning Wednesday.
Good morning to you. My name is Favor Olorotola. Please have yourself a wonderful day. Bye.